Hey guys, Madeline Jimenez, HP Agents, Real Estate Broker. For the last 15 years, all I have been doing is training wholesalers, training investors, and training realtors. Yes, I am a licensed broker, so I can train and supervise realtors. By all means, let's get going. So the question is, I get this question all the time. How do I find deals, Alan? Yes, I know what wholesaling is. I went through your course. I love the course. But now where do I find these deals? You want to find deals? Let's get going. All right, now we're back. Okay, so we want to find deals. So that the whole goal of this course, of this lesson today, is to how to find deals. It's actually marketing. That question is really marketing. And no matter what you're selling, you need to have a marketing campaign in place. So let's get going. All right, today's goals, by the end of this lesson today, you will know how and where and what to do to find deals, okay? How, what, where, when, every single thing you need to know to find a wholesale real estate deal is in this class, so keep watching to the very end. All right, so there's a lot of lists that you're gonna have to spend money. You have to spend money to make money. Now, we have this list already. We already have the list ready for you guys, and we have like buyers list. Those are the people that actually buy once you find the property. We have sellers lists. Now, sellers lists are for each neighborhood. So like, say for instance, you want to do a certain neighborhood or a certain zip code or a certain subdivision in Houston or Mississippi or Missouri. We have that data ready to go. And what it has the name, it has their phone number, it has the equity in the home, of course it has the address, has the bedrooms, bathrooms, the square footage, the last time it was listed. And all these facts are very, very important, because what we're going to do is be taking that data and importing into our system. We're going to talk about system rather quickly, so hold tight. Then we got expired and for sale by owner lists. So these are some other important lists that you're going to have to do your cold calling. And yeah, we're going to get there, but I'm going to show you a trick on how to make hundreds of calls per day in just an hour or so. This is how professionals are. That's how we act as professionals. We run a system. So we treat this as a business, not like we're just getting in the business and, we're going to do a couple of calls here. Oh, I'm going to do 20 calls. No, that's not going to work. 20 calls, that ain't nothing. I do 100, 200 calls a day in just an hour. So well, hold on, we're going to get there. And some other lists that you may want to consider. So I call the in need or desperate list. These are indicators that people are in need of money. And so when people are in need of money, they're desperate. And those are the type of people we're going to be looking for in wholesale real estate opportunities. You see, when somebody can't pay their water and their water's been shut off, yeah, they need money. They're having some problems that maybe, sometimes a house has been, given to a relative, somebody's passed away, they didn't pay the water, but that water bill seems to be overlooked all the time. Another good one is divorce list. So what we do is we take the divorce list and we match it against homeowners, and we find them the homeowner to people who are divorced. Duh. And of course, if people are divorced, they're kind of pissed off and they're in a odd state of mind. And this is when you have to make contact with them and either do one or two things. It's a double opportunity here. I shouldn't even say anything. So you want to wholesale that property. That's your number one goal. But number two, if you get a listing lead, you can say, you know what, if they don't want to wholesale it, they don't like your offer. You know what? Hold on, Sarah and Joe Smith. I got a realtor for you that specializes in that neighborhood. Why? Because that realtor, you're going to align yourself with the realtor. We're going to talk about that in another slide. But what happens is you guys develop a relationship, and he can also give you a kickback at closing. So staying with Texas regulations, he can give you a kickback of 1%, 0.5%, and maybe it's just $3,000, $5,000. But guess what? You didn't do anything. So free money. Foreclosure notices, of course, we have that list ready to go. And tax and default. These are a lot of lists. They're all separate. They all cost money. So nothing is free in this world. So you can buy the list from us. We already have it ready. Or you can buy the list from wherever you want. But you do need a list with all that data, because we're going to take that data and import it into our system. Okay, so partnering up, this is what I really like. So if you get someone who's interested in wholesaling with you, and you're in the same subdivision, you're in the same city, you guys maybe want to, split the cost. Yeah, I could, he can do Heights, you can do Montrose, you can do Woodlands, and he can do the South Side. You guys are in the same city. Yeah, split the cost on the list. And so like at least lists cost $500, $1,000, $5,000. So yeah, you're gonna have to, save some money when you can. When you can. That's what I would do. And I wish I would have done that when I was younger. Of course, we're gonna get to Bandit Signs. So Bandit Signs, let me tell you, they are illegal. Do not do them. I'm a real estate broker, so I have a license, and I can't tell you to do anything illegal. But if someone wants to do these Bandit Signs, which are illegal, then in the ones that we see everywhere, that people will put up everywhere, but I can't tell you to do that. This is what you would do if you needed to do that. This is a disclaimer. You see my disclaimer up there, so I'm protecting. We call it CYA, cover your ass, in case somebody comes up, hey, you're teaching people to do stuff illegal. No, sir, I told them not to do that. And then all right, so they work, but they take some time and they take some time, to get started. And let me tell you a little bit. Today we're going to learn what to buy to get the signs, get the signs ready to go. I'm going to tell you everything. So a lot of people don't break it down. So let's break it all the way down. What you're going to need to get started, okay? You're going to know where to place the signs. Hello. How to place them and what to write. Okay? So let's get going. These signs, signs are like these little signs seem to be like, if you don't have much money to get started, this is a good place for you to get started. Maybe you got a few $1,000s. These signs are, let's say you're going to need about at least 200. Let's say you have $2 or $3 each. That's $400 or $500 right there. Boom, gone, just in signs alone. And then you got to install them. So that's another 200. And then you got to, pay somebody or do them yourself. Let's just say 200 signs cost you $1,000. And then 2,000 signs cost you, see how it can grow. You see how it can exponentially grow. So this is a good way. You got a few $1,000, $1,000, and you want to get started. But this is the cool part. This is the cool part right here. So if these signs, and statistically for every 500 signs, we'll get you about one deal. Okay, so one deal, 500 signs will get you one deal. We'll get there. I'm going to show you the ratios and the numbers. But that one out of that 500 close, well, guess what the average closing is? Now, I'm going to go for my averages over the last 15 years, and my Realtors averages, $12,750. That's the average. Now, they have gone to $2,000. They have gone up to $70,000. So you put 1,000 in, and it's like you're playing a for sure lotto. You just have to do the work, follow the system, and you make the money, period. Okay, so let's get going. Where to buy, what to buy for Bandit Signs. Of course, you're going to need the signs. You're going to need a nail gun. If you're going to install them yourself, you need a wireless nail gun. Of course, you need the nails. You need a big fat marker. Get you about 5 of them. This is what you do if you just don't have much money and you just need to get started in wholesaling. Don't have much money. I want to go ahead and try this out. I got $2,000 and I'm going to put it down there, or $1,000, and I'm going to give it my all. And what's the worst can happen? I lost $1,000 and I learned a lot. Okay, so the big fat markers, because people will be driving 30 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, whatever the case may be, and they need to be able to see your sign really, really quickly. They need to see it. They need to see exactly what you're saying. They need to say how to contact you and your website in 3 to 4 lines, and that's it. Not a big long sentence and none of that stuff like that. You're going to go what you're doing, your hook, and then how to contact you, your website, and then something else if you want to. But 3 to 4 lines, that is it, where they're going too fast. Now, you should have learned from the previous class, you should have your website set up with a domain that does one thing only, and it converts leads. Not a bunch of crap will contact you. Not contact you, it's okay. But like a bunch of little links and stuff like that. No, this thing is to do. That's another class I have to teach, but I can't stop thinking about how important that is because I see so many of these errors every day. Okay, and of course you need to get some stakes for the stakes that putting some signs in the ground. So 20% will go on poles, and you make sure to nail those up on the poles 9 feet or where people can't get them. 8 feet, 6. You want to put them up high. Almost out, but at eye level as much as you can, but a little bit out of reach from the average person. Okay, if that makes any sense. So I'm about 5'8", so I can't reach. I guess 7 foot or something. So whatever. You put them up there high, and then because they're going to get picked up. People get pissed off. They don't like them. They pick them up, and you're going to lose them. So you can pick them up. You can throw 500 in one day, and 2 days later you're down to 200. And that's just the way it goes. This is the part of doing business. What to say? We talked about that high visibility. You want to use a white or yellow sign. Don't go with a black sign or a red sign or some kind of crazy sign because the contrasting is what really matters. Now, I've seen if you've done a printout, they can print if you have a white sign, they can do a black background like in a circular, and then they leave your phone number in white. What I'm trying to focus on is high contrast, so they can see your phone number and what you're saying rather quickly. Now remember, you're supposed to have vanity stuff, so because people need to remember. What's going to be easier to remember, 832-249-3729 or 832 Joe buys, or 713 I buy home, or homes quick, or whatever the case. What's going to be easier for people to remember? How about the website? You want to have a big long domain, Supercell Homes Quick in Houston.com? No. How about just 2 syllables, 3 syllables of them? ibuynow.com. Sell quick, sell your home quick, or whatever. You see what I'm getting at? Shorter, smoother. That's what you need to do, period, end of story. That's it. We only have 3 to 5 seconds, man. 4 to 5 seconds, people are driving by. We need to catch these people's attention. Your money's on the line. And so, yes, we need to definitely make sure we get the most return on our investment, your investment. This is your hard dollars. This is not like play money. So I understand. I've been there before. I've been out there hanging. Well, I shouldn't say that because I've been in there. I've been in your shoes. So yeah, I understand. And then how to place the signs. Okay, this is really important right here. What I like to say here. Let me see. I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, so okay. Where to place the signs. This is very important. So you want to place them in a neighborhood that has a low or a high turnover rate. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to get a place that, of course, we do want to do that, I should say. We don't want to get in neighborhoods where people stay there forever. Okay, like one of them I know for sure is like in the Memorial area of Houston. Once people move in, they are there. These are families. They have their children there, and they're going to school for 20 years. Their turnover ratio is when people buy and then they sell. So they usually sell like over there like 7 to 10 years, and we don't want that. We want a turnover rate of about 3 years or less. Yeah, or less. 3 years or less. And so we have some reports ready for you for Texas anyways. If you needed turnover rates, or if you needed some more information about turnover rates, we can get to those reports to you. So you can define your area, because this is really your foundation. It really is, because if you start farming an area, or you start marketing an area in which the turnover is so low that you're never going to get any calls. You're just throwing money in the trash. So this is super important. Make sure to place your signs on poles, and make sure there are 20% of them on poles, and people can't get to them easy to rip them down and put them in the trash. Now you want to drive the area first, okay? I want you to drive that area first. I really want you to get a good grasp of what the area you're going to be looking at. Bring your cell phone with you, because for every place that you like, map it on the map. Put a pinpoint on the map. Print out a little map that you like. Pinpoint where you want it. Take a picture of it as well, and I'm going to show you why. You're going to pinpoint where you want a little place, where you want a sign placed at. and make sure you put what direction and what side of the street. You see that? Because of course they're going to have going north and going south, going east or west, and that person who's going to be installing the signs for the next few years needs to know which one. So you're going to have a picture, you're going to have a pinpoint, and then you're going to tell them north or south or east or west or whatever the case may be. You need to have as much information so you can stay relevant or stay connected with your installer. This is going to save you time and headache, trust me. Map the route out. We talked about mapping that route out. Map out with your driver. Having that map ready, because you're going to be giving the driver all this information where you want these things. Because if you don't do this, I promise you they're just going to put them in the easiest place. They'll put all 500 on one street. They're like, yeah, put your signs up in the neighborhood like you said. They don't care about you. They're like, I just took his $250. What a schmuck. But if you give them a map and you give them the exact pinpoints, and I know they're not going to get exactly each one right, but if you give them a map and you give them the pinpoints, you give them the photos of each one, where to follow the map, make sure it's smooth for them. Tell them to follow this map like that, this way, that way, go up this, and then they can knock it out real quick. And you're like, hey, this is the easiest way to knock it out. You can knock it out in 2 hours, make yourself $250, $125 an hour. But if you tell them, this is going to do a lousy job. So remember, there's not really bad employees. It's bad bosses, bad management. In this case, you're the manager. You're the boss. So you're the one. You have to communicate well. You have to let them know exactly what to do. And then, of course, you're going to send all these directions. You're going to put all these directions in the cloud. So I use Google Drive, for any kind of directions where I'm going to instruct my employee. I like to put everything on the Google Drive and then share that Google Drive with my employee. You see there? So everything's ready. And then if that employee quits, no problem. I got everything here in the Google Drive. I send it to the next employee. And you're going to have a high turnover rate, especially with stuff like this. So, labor tasks, you can always get somebody to do it for you rather quickly. Take pictures of each location. We talked about that. You're going to send all the directions, of course, all to your installer. And before paying, drive your route and verify. You don't have to do everyone. Just do a little drive until you get a good feeling for your installer, because they can rip you off. Unfortunately, contract business is a rip-off nowadays. And then pay by the amount of signs that they have installed. So if you give them 250, pay them $250, and they can knock that out in 2 hours. 125 signs an hour. I mean, give or a take. It depends. You got that air gun, boom, 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 boom. So you're gonna have to negotiate with them a bit. Okay, delegate the task. So you're saying, well, that's a lot of things to do, Alan. I mean, we're talking about putting the signs together on 250 signs. Goodness, so. Well, I can't. That's going to take all day. Well, you can delegate that task to someone. You can have a cousin, one of your family members, one of your friends. Hey, pay you $50, $100 to write this out with a big fat marker. They're not doing anything. Have them do it. Don't you do it. You need to think bigger thoughts. If you want to go to another level in business, you need to be thinking about. You be constantly improving yourself, not spending tasks on things that are just, you should be making money. So for instance, I'll always tell people about a maid. Try to get a maid to your house 1 or 2 times a week, so you don't have to be cleaning your house. You could spending all that time on something more lucrative. Okay, so your Wholesale Mastermind Alliance, the people that are going to be bringing you business are going to be like Realtors, bankers, loan officers, people that work at the title company, the escrow agents, the front desk, county front desk workers, the administration people from the people that work the front desk for realtors, loan officers. All these people, the estate lawyers, and all these people are your mastermind alliance. These are the people that they can bring you business. So in order to bring you business, you're going to have to create a relationship. You're really going to have to create a relationship with these folks, because these are the ones that can bring you business. And the way you create relationships is by offering value. Please don't call a loan officer or a realtor and just be like, hey, do you have any deals for me? They get these emails every single day, but I guarantee you, I'll give you a secret. If you bring a realtor once a month, and the one that specializes maybe once every 2 weeks, or that specializes the area. Hey, you know what, Alan, I got you lunch over here. I gotta, I was thinking about you. I just put you I got you a little lunch coupon or something. Or you know what, I'm gonna stop by your office. Like my mom baked some cookies or something. You know, I bought some cookies for you over there for the office, or you and your realtors, especially brokers like myself, so they can introduce you to all their other realtors. Loan officers too, because why? A loan officer, if someone's looking for a loan either to refinance or to get a loan for another property, these people can refer business for people that need to sell their house, especially if they're trying to refi and they didn't get approved. You see, so you're really thinking outside the box. But the thing is that you're really bringing value. You're not just saying, "Hey, help me, help me." Well, no, it doesn't work like that. No. What it does is that you actually, when you give to someone, they automatically, subconsciously want to help you. So think about that. Don't be happy. Hey, asking. The other person that's receiving is saying, subconsciously they're saying, "What's in it for me?" It's a marketing term that we use here. The whole world uses it. Well, what's in it for me? That's how people think. Everybody is selfish. They want to know subconsciously what is in it for me. How, if I help you, how does that benefit me? So think about that and think outside the box and cultivate with these relationships with your wholesale mastermind alliance, realtors, loan officers, bankers, title agents, people that have opportunities to refer business to you to get you a wholesale deal. And then the people you make contact. Now we're talking about conversions. So like we're talking about conversions in your technique as a salesperson. So then but when you get to you make contact, make appointments, from there you have to continuously think about your strategy, about sales, your sales techniques, and your vibe that you're giving off. What are you doing that can improve? So if any of these numbers are off, you need to think about how you can improve it. So your marketing campaign from a bird's eye view, is going to be 30% will come from signs, 30% will come from cold calling, 10% from mail outs, and then 20% social media and 10% referrals. So 30% is only the signs. So if you don't want to do signs, you have cold calling, mail, and social media and referrals to focus in on. Okay. So yeah. Cold calling is the next one. We're talking about that. This is a good thing to say. This is actually, let's concentrate on this a little bit more. If 30% comes from signs and you're only wanting one campaign and 500 signs for one neighborhood, and that generates you $12,500, that's a profit of, let's just say, that's minimum $8,000. Somehow you have some other cost. You have $8,000. In fact, you know what I like to do? Let me go back here. I want to show you something. When you get this closing here, please, whatever you do, don't take that $12,000 or that profit and start celebrating and buying a car and all kinds of fancy stuff. Please promise me you won't do that, okay? You need to treat this like a business, and so you need to reinvest that money. So you're going to think about, well, wait a minute, Alan. If I did this for one neighborhood, can I do it for 3 neighborhoods? And what? Yes. Yeah. Duh. So yeah, once you get your foot in the door and you get one sale, you got all that money. Now we're like, Alan, I see it. Thank you. Now I see. I understand the wholesale industry. I'm going to change this into a 500 campaign, into a 5,000 sign campaign, or I'm going to throw some other avenues, and we'll go, So like we talked about our avenue signs, cold calling, mail outs, referrals, and social media. So yeah, that's when we need to focus on other things. So this is all marketing. People ask about, how do I do it? How do I find the deals? It's all marketing. This is all really a marketing course, but I'm focusing on wholesale, okay? But this is really for marketing. We're going to be configuring your auto dialer here. So whatever auto dialer you use, make sure to take your list. You got to take your list. Oh, wait. Let me stop that. you better get yourself a headset. Don't even think about trying to make these calls on your cell phone without a headset. And it's actually fine if you use a cell phone, but don't you? I like the Logitech. Use a good one. Use a couple $100 one. I like the Logitech. They hear you clear. Make sure you use the Bluetooth so that you can walk around the house and the calls are going. I'm going to show you. The calls will be going, and they'll pick up, and then it'll automatically switch to you. It also has buttons up here that allows you to switch lines. So very cool. Use the Logitech. Spend your money. Invest it on yourself. Or even if you have to wait till the next closing, it's fine, okay? Import all your neighborhoods, all your lists that you have, import them into the system. Do not import them in as one list. See, dude, no, don't do that. Are you crazy? We have to stay organized here, folks. We have to stay organized. So, keep the neighborhood separate, keep the list separate, or all separate, and then tag them as much as possible. Tagging means like little keywords that you can search for. So, let's say, for instance, you have neighborhoods Heights or Montrose, but Houston Heights, Houston Montrose area, Sellers, stuff like that. Define them as much as possible. At the bare minimum, the neighborhood. And then your other list that you have, foreclosures. Other list you have is divorcees. These are separate lists. Don't put them all, because we need to, when we run the reports, we're going to see which one is really doing better. You start, because you're going to be doing 200 calls a day. You're going to see which one is operating the best for you, and then you can focus on that. Okay. In this your auto dialer system, whatever dialer system you use, make sure you set up a few things. Number one, you want to set up your if the person doesn't answer the phone, and you're going to leave a message, a voicemail. That voicemail will leave a pre-recorded voicemail from you. So you don't have to do these messages. You're using the system. You're using the system to work for you. So you're going to be having 3 lines going at the same time, and maybe all 3 of the lines don't answer. You get voicemail, and so that the system is going to leave the voicemail for you. You're going to record it with your voice. You're going to record it with your voice, and you're going to say, "Oh, hey, this is Alan with HP Agents, and I seen you own 27 Main Street, and I just giving you a call. I had a couple of questions. Call me back. Don't give too much information, and then call me back at 832 blah blah blah." And then so you already have that pre-recorded. So the system doesn't. So you got all these calls going. None of them answered. You left a voicemail, but you didn't do it. The system did it for you. So now, when the system recognizes voicemail, it doesn't wait. It goes to the next calls. It goes to the next call batch. So it can do hundreds of these calls fast. And then you're going to have another voicemail recorded that if someone answers and you're on another call, you're going to have another called the static key. I call it the static key. The reason why is because hello, shh. You're going to have some static, shh. Yeah, wait, I can't hear you here. I'm going to have to call you right back. I don't got a good line. I'll call you right back. I'm sorry. You see what I mean? And then, because the reason why is you're on another call right now. You can't hang up. You're busy. You got someone else answered. But what happened, instead of just having someone be all weirded out, like, why did that person call and didn't say anything? It lets them know with your voice that, I got this call's the static. It's too much static, and I'll get right back to you. It's so true. Okay, so. And then you're going to set up your text and email as well. So if the system recognizes that it's a cell phone, it'll send a text message to that person. Say, hey, I just called you. This is Alan. Or you can just call you. Give me a call when you can. And same thing with the email. Hey, just give me a call. And then personalize their name. Just sent you an email. I'm sorry. I just called you. This isn't an email. Please give me a call when you can. And then your information. All this stuff goes out automatically. I mean, so you're letting the system, but what's important is that you have the data. You upload the data to the auto dialer, and the auto dialer does all this for you. So here goes. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more for you. So here's the campaign system that we use. I use a 4-line system, and as you can see here, I have 4 calls going all at the same time on 4 different lines. 3 are calling at the same time, and I'm talking to one at that current moment. It pulls up the person right there, Philip Witten, has all his information. Remember, that information is populated from the data that we have from the list. So you can jot your notes down, and I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me see. Oh, no, it doesn't let me. But at the bottom, there's some buttons there. If you can see here, they're green and red. Well, those are buttons that let them know that if they're hot, warm, cold, all that good stuff right here as well. That's good because when you're doing these calls, you want to be able to look back at your summary at the end of the calls and look at your notes and define what you're going to do, because I don't want you doing a bunch of, oh, I got a lead right here, let me stop everything. No, you're doing calls right now. You're finding all your leads right now, and then at the end, you'll decide what you need to do with those leads. Okay, you put a plan of action. You need to put a plan of action together. Talked about that in another class, but let me zoom in here. Okay, and then of course you need to start social media advertising. This is just like Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google. So Facebook, of course, has ads that you can run. Google has ads that you can run, and you need to find an audience. The audience are people that need to sell. Now, we have a campaign already set up. If you're interested in that, it's another course, but you don't need it. You can run it on your own, or you could use a system that we already made for you. It's up to you. You can do your own thing. But Facebook has a campaign you can run. Google has an ad run you can run. The main thing is you have to identify an audience that is, that you're looking for. So another thing about Facebook is that it's a great place to network. But what I mean is not networking with just your friends and the people you know, but getting into groups and pages that gets you outside of your group. So like I know they have one for, Realtor Mastermind, Wholesaling Mastermind, Investors Mastermind, Bigger Pockets. All these different groups were in your neighborhood though, or, things like that. You see all kinds of groups that can be beneficial. And don't just go in there and say, hey, just kind of spammy. Actually try to post something that introduce yourself, let them know what your goals are. Maybe engage in someone else's post a few times a day and put some vital information and actually try to create a relationship. It's really been beneficial. Same thing for LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional organization, professional social media organization. But there's where the realtors and loan officers and title people, and that's where you can search for them, try to get a relationship going with them, connect with them, introduce, but don't be spammy because it's just so much crap out there. You actually want to take the time to make a relationship. I know it's just something you're going to have to do to get your feet wet in this arena. And of course, Google has the ads, and you're going to have to do the same thing with that. Is Google advertise, define your audience, set your budget, and let it run. You're going to have to, and once you start getting, you start seeing you're bringing in $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, you have to start growing and keep growing because pretty soon it will start shrinking back. It will shrink back a little bit. So you have to continuously grow. As a lot of people become more competitive, there will always be a bigger dog, a more sharper dog. He's always sharpening that sword. And so you have to sharpen that sword as well in staying on top of your wholesale industry. Well, that's about it for my how to find deals in wholesaling real estate. We talked about it all. There's nearly nothing else much more I can talk about. This is an overview actually of how to find deals. I do have more advanced classes that are more in depth. So let me know what you like, and of course those classes are extra, but please let me know. Give me a call anytime. Text me 832-305-7653. That's 832-305-SOLD. You see that vanity number work there? Yeah. HPAgents.com. I train HP, high-powered agents. That's all I do. Agents are wholesalers, realtors. You don't need a license to get started. So thank you for checking out my training session. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching my video. Please give it a good thumbs up if you liked it or if you learned something. Hit that subscribe and notification bell. That will keep you learning. I'm throwing videos out there every single day about learning new tactics, negotiation, money-making skills that I've learned over the last 15 years, and I'm continuously giving you new tips. So follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Whatever avenue you're on, we are there. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.